Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's been a long time since I posted something, so I had a little project of mine that I did right here. Take a look. New grips for the Bul Armory SAS Ultralight 3.25. These are the new grips that Bul Armory just came out with, and you can see the pattern here. It is a stippled. It's kind of similar to the staccato style. You can see the old grip right here. I really wish I made a video of this process, because what a chore this was. This took me all day, and of course I was taking my time, but I had quite a few issues, and one issue that I am going to point out when I start talking about the process. Actually, I'll just come right out and say it right now. Take a look at the mainspring housing right here, and if I get some of these terms, parts names incorrect, sorry about that. I'm not a gunsmith. So if you see this, this is the stock OEM mainspring housing, and I put the new one that actually came with the new grip back on the one I'm not using. This is the factory grip that the pistol comes with. The reason I did that is when I was using this one, and of course I had to get the spring kit, and I put the springs in there. The grip safety was not working. And now I probably could have taken the springs out of here and put them in here and, see if that worked. But I didn't. I brought a new spring kit and I put it in this new one right here. And I just figured it would, well, I didn't figure, I actually reached out to Bul Armory and they said that it would work. They said that the grip would fit and the mainspring housing would be okay. And they, gave me the information regarding the spring kit that I needed to buy. So this is finally working now. But as you can see, it has the old mainspring housing. So let me give you a close-up look so you can see the texture here. It's aggressive, but it's not that bad. I do like the front here too, how this texture gives you really good grip. And actually, this might not be too bad. Typically when I shoot and I have a gun that has, kind of aggressive grip on it, the back portion really rubs up against your palm. So this is kind of smooth, and this might work out pretty good. I don't really care. I just want the pistol working. And yeah, it's definitely doing that. Now, I know they have a new version of this coming out as well. I think it's $17.50 for the regular Ultralight, and then there's an Ultralight Pro that's $19.50. And I really don't know what the difference is between the two. I know it has ported barrels now right up here, which is kind of cool. So I'm assuming the barrel that comes with the Pro has, the cuts in it, the holes, the lightning cuts or whatever you want to call them, so that the ported barrel or the ports on the frame will work. That's the only thing that I can think of. But I guess, when it comes out, then we'll see more. So let me put this phone down here so I can explain. If you're going to attempt this is the video for you. Okay, and it wasn't that bad. I did, need a few different types of tools, you know what I mean? But the tools were very common tools that if you have like a setup like I have here, or you have, you're a DIY person, then you should have the tools that you need. So obviously you want to remove the magazine, make sure that it's empty. Do your normal takedown, take the slide off. From there, you're going to remove the magazine release, and you basically, extend it out a little bit, and there's a flathead screw right here. You turn it to the left, and then this should pop right out. If you have an extension or a like an extension on yours, like I do, you're gonna have to take that off because it slides this way. It only slides in one way. From there, okay, the objective is to get, obviously, the grip off. So what you want to do is you want to take this screw out, both sides. Then you have a screw here, and these are all hex, by the way. They're hex. I don't know the sizes. This hex right here is actually a screw that goes into a cylinder. So one side is going to be a screw that comes out, the other side is just a cylinder. Once you get the screw out, you could just push it through with a punch and it'll come right out. From there, you are going to need a punch to remove your mainspring housing. If you notice that the mainspring housing punch has a dimple on one side and the other side is smooth, so you're going to want to push the side with the dimple. You're going to go, if you're looking at the gun like this, you're going to go this way with it. So just take that out. It's a pretty hefty pin. It's got a notch in the middle too, because this mainspring housing has a spring inside it with a cap on top and a cap on the bottom, and the cap on the bottom has a pin that pops through into this hole, and this pin that you're looking at right here has a little groove in the middle, in the center of it, and that's, I guess, what keeps it this pin centered in place. Once you get that out, that pin out, you don't have to worry about it, popping out or anything like that. You could just leave it there. Next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take the manual safety off, and that was very easy to do. Basically, you're gonna bring it up a little bit, just a little bit, go all the way up, and then come down just a tiny bit, shake it around a little bit. This side will come off. It is not hard to do. And then, of course, the other side will come right out as well. Once you have that done, you're going to want to take this frame off. And let me tell you, what they did here was, so a typical 2011 style, these screws go into like a lock washer that you actually push out. However, on this model weapon, these screws go directly into the frame. That part of the frame sticks out. So what that means is you're going to need a pry tool. And I used this right here. You can see it's kind of chewed up on the end here. I also have another one of these in the garage, so I had two at a time. And then you're going to want to pry right here. You're going to pry this up, and you can actually see on the old one, right here is where you're going to want to pry up. Oh, hold on. Right here, you're going to want to pry this up. What you're trying to do is you're trying to pull these out so that you can get this hole over the I don't even know what it's called, the part that this screws into. And boy, it was quite the challenge to get these spread apart, because this frame, this plastic, this polymer is really, really sturdy. It's really strong. So once you get that out, though, you're good with this part. You can just put that aside, and you could attach the new one. One thing I also want to mention too, that was, getting the grip on. The grip will just snap right on. You could put these screws back in, and you know, you could just get it all together. But I'm forgetting something, the trigger. So that was I did it out of order, but that was the process of getting the grip back on. But before you do that, you have to get the trigger out of the old grip and into the new. So let me keep going. What you'll want to do is, once you get these safeties off, there are 2 pins here, and these pins you're going to want to push from the right side to the left. The reason being is the pins are capped on one side, so they basically can only go in from left to right. And they come out very easy. There was no struggle whatsoever to get those out. And what those 2 pins hold are the hammer that you see here, and then of course, I don't know what they're called. I've seen like a million videos, but there's like a sear. I think it's a sear, and there's another part that slides up through the frame. And you know what? Let me disassemble this so I could explain that better. Just give me 1 second. I'm gonna do a little takedown here. I really hope this video helps somebody out, because boy, I could have used it. There we go. So you see this little guy right here. Whatever this is, you know, that I don't know the name. It moves up and down. So that will come out, and then there's another part in there that's a sear that will come out from those 2 pins that you take out. Okay, and then you could slide the mainspring housing down, and then you could take out the sear spring, I believe it's called. The sear spring has 3 levers on it, or 3 fingers, whatever you want to call them. And from there, this grip should come right out once you pry it apart here. And then the trigger just slides right out. You can see right here. Get a light for you. So you can see right here, you got your trigger. It just slides right through. There is a groove on the side here that you see, so it's really impossible to put it in incorrectly. And if you're wondering, oh God, I forgot, you know, did I put it in upside down? Did I put it in the right way? Another indicator that will tell you that you put it in the right way is, if you look right here at the trigger, you could see that there's a hole on the bottom, and that's so you could change the trigger shoe. That hole needs to be on the bottom. And then that will just let you know that the trigger, when you put it into your new grip module, is incorrectly. All right, so from there, once you get this grip on, now you can put your sear spring in. You could put your hammer in and put the pin through there, and then you could also, you know, get your grip safety ready. You don't want to put the mainspring housing all the way up, because there are 2 grooves on the grip safety that catch onto the mainspring housing. But from there, getting the 2 pieces, I think the sear and then this thing on top, getting those parts in was not difficult. What I would suggest doing is take pictures, take videos of the assembly before you take it all down, so that if you need to refer to it, you can just review the videos, review the pictures, and take a look at it. But it's pretty self-explanatory. The sear spring that goes in here has 3 fingers, I mentioned. The one all the way to the right is to make the grip safety bounce back. The one in the middle actually connects onto the slider part of the bottom of this part right here. And the one all the way to the left, my air conditioner went on, will connect to the sear item that's in there. It's really hard, to mess that up, but once you see it, it'll make sense. Yeah, so once you get all that together, you can take your safety levers and you can put them on. Just remember that over here there is a pin, and it's not under a whole lot of pressure, but you could see it right here. Hold on. We're looking at this area right here. There is a little pin that has a spring in the middle and then a detent on the front. So you'll want to slide that in first. And then what I would suggest doing is lining your manual safeties up. But then if you have like a piece of, if you have like a little plastic pick tool like this, it's absolutely perfect, because then you could take that and you can push the detent in while you get your manual safeties snapped on. It's really not that hard. Then from there, you can push your mainspring housing all the way up and it will catch into the grip safety. But I know I wish I had a video of it, but YouTube would probably take it down. It was, I bet you I could do it now if I needed to pretty quickly, now that I know what to expect. But it was just, what really threw me off was that the factory the mainspring housing just didn't want to go on, or didn't want to make this grip safety work. It was driving me crazy. I thought I put it together wrong, but you could see now, this thing works. But what was happening before was, in this mode right here, I was able to squeeze the trigger and it would go off. The firing pin, the hammer would drop. So now, of course, that I fixed the grip safety, it works. And of course, the manual safety works as well. So if you can see here, it's working and it's solid. There was a lot of noise, a lot of play. It just was not right. You could just tell that things were just not right. One of the other things that I did have a little bit of difficulty with getting back on was the magazine release, believe it or not. And it is a pretty simple process where you just push it in, you turn this flathead screw, but for some reason it just wasn't. It took me quite a few tries to get it done. So just be aware of that. Basically, there's a little detent in there with a spring, and when you turn this screw, the flathead screw here, it turns that detent into a groove, and that groove is a part of the grip here, and that groove is plastic. It's plastic, guys, and the detent is metal, so it goes in there. And I think what happened was, I was a little bit off a couple of times, and I may have, marred it up a little bit, and maybe it just wasn't moving smoothly because it's plastic, and it might have been a little deformed, or I don't know. But anyways, I took some lube and I put it in the groove. I cleaned it out, and then I was able to get that, safety or magazine release in there, and now it works really well, just like it did before. So if you have any questions, definitely reach out if you want to know how to do this, if you're running into any problems. The grip itself was $149. got it directly through Bul Armory. And the kit, I don't have it now, but the spring kit that goes inside here in the mainspring housing was like $19.90. But if you're gonna do this, I would probably recommend that you just keep the rear mainspring housing for your old grip and put it on the new grip, unless you really want this design, you like this feel right here. Then what I would suggest doing is taking the springs out of your old mainspring housing and putting it into the new. And how you do that, it's not that hard, but it will be a little challenging. So, how it works. In the front, you can see a little hole here. There is a detent in there. And if you pop this detent out, this spring will go absolutely flying. Not that I know, through experience or anything. But anyways, once you take that detent out, push it from the front to the back. And again, this detent only goes in one way. You can only take it out from the back, and you can only, or from the front, and you can only put it in through the back. Once you take that out, just somehow, keep your finger over this, or, keep a towel on the ground or something, because this will come out. There are two metal caps that go on either end of the spring. The one that is that you can see here has, it's almost like a funnel, the one that goes on the bottom is shaped so that one end will go inside the spring. The other end has a detent that pops through this hole. And I don't know if you're going to be able to see that, but inside this hole, there is a detent that's sticking out. And what you'll want to do is get that assembly, that spring assembly in here, put it on a flat surface, push it down, and have that detent ready to just push in there, so that this thing does not come flying out again on you. But then once you get it in, it's a contained unit, really, easy to work with. Getting it in the grooves here is a little bit of a challenge. You gotta line it up right. It's really tight tolerances here. You got 2 grooves on either side that you have to get this in, and you can see right here, it's taken me forever, but you'll get it in there eventually. I've taken these things out on and off all day today, and it's it's been a long day. I need a beer or two. There we go. So you see, once it's in, you can slide it up, and it'll hold your sear spring in there, and it'll also connect to your grip safety and hold that in. So here she is. The grip feels good. I can't wait to shoot this to see what it feels like, with the new grip. But it does feel really good in hand. I like it a lot better than the factory one that comes with it. And I guess if you really wanted to save money, you could potentially take this off and send this out to someone to do the stippling or whatever. You could do that, and I don't know actually what it would cost. I'm assuming it's probably less than the $150 that I paid for the grip, but I don't know. I kind of like things factory, and I liked how this is a factory finish. It comes right from the factory, and it was done really nice. It looks symmetrical. It's nice and grippy, and feels good. All right, guys, have a great day. Any questions, let me know.